Hello YouTube and welcome back to another Dare to Game video. Today we're playing Mount and Blade Bannerlord, and I'm actually going to do one of my first in kind of a series I have planned here, looking at some of the total conversion mods for Mount and Blade, because as we all know, that's really what's best about Mount and Blade in my opinion, is the fact that we get so many great conversion mods that basically let us play games that we don't get otherwise. That's what it was with Warband. I mean, we've never gotten a real Game of Thrones game, like a real good one, and Warband gave that to us, and now Mount and Blade Bannerlord is also going to give that to us. Hopefully, soon enough with the full release, we'll actually start getting more stable mods that can build upon themselves in a more fundamental way. But for now, there's actually a few mods out there that are pretty dang good and fun to play right now. And this is the first one I want to take a look at. It's called Game of Thrones Trial of the Seven Kingdoms, and this is done by a mod author named King of the North. And of course, it appears to be a team of people, not just King of the North, but that's the owner of the mod page. So whenever I'll be referring to this team, I'll just say King of the North or whatever, you know, the mod author. I'll say something generic, but that's who we're talking about. And from what I understand, this is the same person responsible for the Clash of Kings mod for Warband, which was honestly one of the best Game of Thrones or even just total conversion mods for Warband. So definitely a lot of good work in the past. And this mod, from what I've tested so far, and it's about 15 hours I've played this one so far, I actually really enjoyed it. I've been having a lot of fun with it. So we're going to dive on into it. Before we get to that, I just want to tell you the link to this mod is going to be in the description. There's also a special page just detailing the installation and how to get it to work, the mod load order, all that sort of stuff that they've got up. That's going to be linked in the description, as well as the Patreon page for this mod team. If you want to support the project, the Patreon page will be linked in the description. So check out all those links if you want to, but let's just dive on in and let's pop into a campaign that I started a few days ago, and I'll just show you some stuff that this mod has to offer. Alright, so I'll just let you look at the map here so you can kind of take it all in while I just talk a little bit about it. On their mod page, the description just says, the time frame takes place right after Robert's Rebellion, so that would be where Robert Baratheon, Ned Stark, and Jon Arryn led the Riverlands, the North, and the Vale against basically the rest of the Seven Kingdoms. Major event. If you're familiar with the story, you know what it is. So it says, yeah, it takes place right after Robert's Rebellion, but with our own little twist. So, you know, I don't know what that twist is yet. I assume they're working on that, but he said this is a huge work in progress. I plan on completely transforming Calradia into the Game of Thrones universe, and then they've got a link for their Discord page as well. So you'll be able to find all that if you want to. From what I understand, the plan is to have full missions, a storyline, campaign, all that sort of stuff. And the previous mod, Clash of Kings, the one for Warband, had all of that, had some pretty good missions, if I'm being honest. I actually really enjoyed the campaign for a Clash of Kings. I thought it was really fun. And it's one of the things that put a Clash of Kings above some of the other conversion mods, is that it actually had a pretty tight story, and I think a lot of mods lose that, but so hopefully we'll see more of that in this one. But as you can see, just what the mod is right now, we've got, of course, all the Seven Kingdoms. There's no... I mean, the Iron Islands are there, a little small, but they're there. But there's nothing on them currently, so the Iron Islands aren't done. The North is pretty empty. We've got some of Essos over here, so you've got some of the free cities, Volantis, Mir, Pentos, Qohor, Tirash, and Bravos. We've got the Dothraki Sea, and down here looks like, I'm pretty sure this is where Valyria was, if I am remembering my map correctly. I think that's where that was, so I'm really hoping this mod is going to really flesh out all of this stuff as it progresses, and hopefully with the full release of the game it'll be easier for them to actually move forward, because every single time the game's updated they have to redo stuff and rework stuff, so it's definitely slowing them down. So I really hope the full release is coming out sometime, I'm thinking this fall. But anyway, so we can see that they've already added in quite a few settlements. So we're zoomed all the way out. So these are just the big towns or cities that you want to call them. So this is actually quite a few. And they've transformed all of the stuff. So it doesn't just feel like Bannerlord with a couple Game of Thrones things in it. It actually feels like Game of Thrones already. So that's something I like. And I've noticed so far that they actually have some unique models for a lot of cities. So let's just zoom in on Stonehenge. You see? That's just a regular castle from Bannerlord. That's just, you know, that's taken right out of it. But then we take something like King's Landing. It actually looks like King's Landing, and it's awesome too. I really enjoy it. That's something that Warband was pretty limited in. The more assets they had in the open map, the more often the game would crash. So big things like this, while looking cool, they made it much harder for the mods to be stable, whereas Bannerlord seems to be able to handle it. Because, like I said, I played this for maybe 15 or 20 hours already, and I haven't had it crash on me once. And this is work in progress, major early on, so that's pretty good stability. Plus, I was testing stuff out. I enabled cheats for this, so I could really test some stuff out and stress test this mod, and I haven't been able to get it to crash. So that's pretty impressive so far. But yeah, just for custom things, I can show you a couple of custom models. Here we have King's Landing. Over here's Dragonstone. Looks pretty cool, basically exactly like it does from the show. You can pop up and look at Winterfell, because everyone knows Winterfell. I don't love the Winterfell model as much as I love the other ones, but part of that is because the show version of Winterfell I just don't like as a whole, because it really doesn't match the description from the books. But it does look pretty cool and definitely very unique. There's a couple other custom ones like Casterly Rock. Everyone knows Casterly Rock. Pretty fancy looking. Highgarden has its own model. Then, of course, we have the Aaron Seat of Power in the Vale, the Eyrie, or the Eerie. I've never been sure if it's Eyrie or Eerie, but pretty cool looking, definitely very fancy. I love how it's up on a mountain, and to approach it, it actually goes up the narrow path. It's fun. It's very fun so far. I've been exploring the game a lot. River Run has its own unique model. The Twins, for some reason, is its own city next to the bridge, which is confusing. I don't know if that's just like a mod limitation right now, just so that you can easily cross the river or something. But yeah, I mean, in the story, the Twins was the two castles with the bridge in between, and I'm sure they know that. But yeah, like I said, so far, pretty dang cool. Everything looks awesome. Old Town looks pretty cool. You can see they've got the high tower there. I don't remember if I checked Sunspear. Sunspear does not appear to have a Sunspear in it, which I'm sure they'll get to. But as you can see, pretty cool so far. They've definitely got a lot of unique assets in the game. A lot of thought has gone into it. All the locations aren't perfect for where stuff is. Like Deepwood Mott, I'm pretty sure, is actually west of Winterfell in the story. And Barrowton is kind of more, it's closer to Winterfell, but down kind of in line with the King's Road, because I'm pretty sure that's how it's actually one of the bigger towns. White Harbor's in the right spot. Moat Cailin is not really in the right spot. It should be where the neck is the narrowest, because that's the whole defensive purpose of it, is it's kind of like a super defensible position. So I'm sure they're going to tweak a lot of these locations to make them more accurate to the story as they go along. But as it is right now, I've really been enjoying it, and it looks great. So let's just show you some of the other stuff in the game. Over here in Essos, this is kind of where I decided to start out everything. One of the fun things that I've noticed so far is there is like an endless Dothraki horde. You're constantly getting armies in the hundreds, if not, I've had some over 1,000. I had one army that I fought of Dothraki that was almost 2,000 Dothraki troops. So it really helps with the immersion of how many Dothraki there are over in Essos. Makes Essos seem way more dangerous, which is something that I've never seen done this well in a Game of Thrones conversion mod for Warband. So that's definitely something I really like. Because if you remember at the beginning of Game of Thrones, it said that Khal Drogo alone, who wasn't the only Khal, had an army of over 50,000 Dothraki. In the other games where you'd come across a couple small bands of Dothraki or whatever way to the east in Essos, that just never felt right. They're supposed to be a bigger threat than that, and in here they are. So that's something I really like. Another thing I can show you is how many models for armor have been added to this game. So like I said, I enabled cheat mode for this so I could show them to you. But so you can see right here, we've got a great example. I put together a couple suits on some of my companions just to show them off. So this here is, the helmet's just kind of a cool looking helmet, Onyx helmet, but then we've got some Valyrian steel equipment. So that's pretty cool. I mean, that'd be pretty hard to come across, but it's said in the books, Euron Greyjoy says he has a suit of Valyrian steel armor. So, you know, it could be from that. But there's other stuff. So this here is supposed to be, this is Dain armor. This was automatically equipped on my brother at the start of the game, and he automatically had Dawn, so that was really cool. I was like, wow, they really made your brother overpowered. Comes equipped as Arthur Dain. Then we've got some cool armor from the Vale. Like this guy was, I recruited him in the Vale, so I figured, you know, I'd go with that theme. Got another guy that just got, his last name was Lucky, so I was like, lucky people are rich. You know, so he's got lots of gold. So I gave him solid gold armor. Here we've got some really cool looking Dornish armor with the Martell armor that they showed off in a update on their page a while back. I was like, well, we definitely got to try that out. Got some cool Casterly Rock knight armor. Looks really awesome. Some Targaryen style armor. And here we've just got some more of the, I think this was also Valyrian. Yeah, this is Valyrian steel armor on this guy. So definitely a lot of really unique stuff in here. And when I say that they added a ton, I really mean it. There are hundreds and hundreds of more pieces of armor than there are in vanilla for Bannerlord. And some of them I don't love. some of them I do really, really love. So as you can see, just scrolling through here, we've got some Lannister armor. My guy's kind of fat. I made him kind of bulky, so it looks kind of funny. But look at that. Look at those textures. They just have so many unique armor styles in this that I really, really enjoy. So you could tell that's one of the things that I always have a problem with in games is when armor isn't varied enough, everyone looks too uniform. That's not how it should look if you want it to be fun and realistic. People wanted to stand out back then just as much as they do these days. So you give them all these various armor things and they're gonna. So yeah, that's something that I've been very impressed with in this so far is how much variety they have in all this armor. It's been epic. Gotta love it. So that's really all I wanted to show for the items. They've obviously added just tons and tons of options for special armor and weapons that most of which feel pretty authentic lore-wise. Oh, I haven't shown any Stark armor. There's some Stark armor. My guy's kind of fat, so like I said, it looks funny on him, but they've got a lot of really cool stuff in here. It's definitely something that I think you'll love exploring if you try this mod out. So one of the things we can look at is also some of the unique troop types. So here we have some Lannister stuff. So you can see they've got unique troops with all their gear and everything themed towards the Westerlands for each troop type. And that's something that I really like. I don't like conversion mods reusing too many of the vanilla assets because then it doesn't feel as special. You got something like this. Look at these guys. These look exactly like a Lannister army right out of the show. Here we've got some Bolton troops with their unique, they've all got their flayed man emblem going on, except for the ones that kind of look exactly like Ramsay, which is the archers. But a lot of unique appearances here. Let's see what their top tier troops look like. Very unique. And of course, lastly, we'll just look at a couple of these Veil ones so you can kind of see what they look like too. So you've got very, very strong Arryn themes here. So all of their knights are super cool looking with their Arryn plate armor. But yeah, so all unique troops for all of the factions, pretty well balanced out. I mean, they're not split up as well, so when you first start off in the game, you're given the option between the Westerlands, the North, and then for some reason, the Vale, the Stormlands, and the Reach are all kind of clumped together, which I kind of get, because they're all just loosely grouped under the Andals, and yes, those three regions are very, very predominantly Andal controlled in the story. So it is what it is. I don't know if in the future they plan on having more, or if that's just the default setting for having that many choices, and so they're going to keep it limited. I don't know. Either way, it works pretty well, and the cultures feel like they're pretty well developed. So here we have a great example of some of the cool stuff that you'll see in the game. So even the on the map icons here, you can see that this is a nobleman of the Westerlands here, Sir Kenos Kenning. And you can see that he's a Westerman, traveling like just from his armor. And here we can even see Tywin Lannister traveling. For some reason, it's not letting me talk to any of them. It's just making me ride alongside of all these people that I'm trying to see, because I want to show you their models. But I guess we'll just show you them in here. So if we go to Heroes, so here we can see Tywin Lannister. He's got a very similar armor to what he wears in the show, and you can see all of his relations and everything. So as far as things that the game does well and what it doesn't do very well yet, but I'm assuming it will, they've done a pretty dang good job of giving at least most of the well-known characters accurate looking clothing and gear and weapons and all that sort of stuff for where they're from. They haven't done a great job yet of modeling faces. If they want to, I don't know if they want to, but let's see. So here's like Renly Baratheon. Doesn't look like Renly Baratheon. You get what I'm saying? I don't know if that's what they're going for, but if it is, they just must not have implemented it yet. And for all I know, they might not, because we don't know what most of these characters look like if you're basing it off the books. Here we have Sir Arthur Dain, who is a noble of the North, which is just interesting. He's a member of House Reed. I'm wondering if maybe that's part of their twist. Maybe I just figured it out, is that they're saying Arthur Dain survived the Tower of Joy and is now hanging out with Howland Reed. That could be interesting. But anyway, that's funny, because I haven't run into him in the game yet. I wonder if I just figured it out. Hey, look, Tormund Giantsbane. So you can see they've just got a ton of characters in here. That's one of the things I noticed while I was walking around the map, just kind of exploring. They've got so many people from the story in here, it's insane. Even run into this little dude. I beat him in a tournament, it was fun. But anyway, so like I said, as considering this is a mod that's on an early access game. This game isn't even completed yet, and this is a work in progress. I've been having a lot of fun with it. So far, I haven't noticed any new stories or anything. It's just been the stories from the vanilla game. So I did the Battle of Pendrake, figured that out, reassembled the banner of Calradia, all that sort of stuff. So the vanilla story still appears to be the only story in this game. So as far as I know, they haven't implemented any stories yet. But they've done most of the world building. They've got pretty well nailed down. Honestly, like I said, I think it's worth playing now. If you're a fan of Game of Thrones, or if you're a fan of Bannerlord and you just like trying new stuff, I definitely recommend this, and like I said, all those links are in the description. So if you want to give it a try, I definitely recommend it, but in any case, thanks for watching, and have a nice day, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching another Dare to Game video. If you liked this video, please leave a like and a comment. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you like my content and would like to support this channel, consider becoming a member today for as little as $1.99 a month. It makes a huge difference. But in any case, thanks for watching, and have a nice day. I'll see you next time.